but I felt like he fit better for Orochimaru, so I took him off of Itachi and put him on Orochimaru for this one.
Yeah, yeah, I feel it better with Orochimaru. I like what you said about like the real ones know, and that definitely fits Kyrie. But I think the Orochimaru one was the way to go, and I like that he's also a good guy now. Like Orochimaru in the end is a good guy. Kyrie Irving now in Dallas is like he's just seen in a whole different light now. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. We rounding to the end, man. We're getting there. So let's go to Rock Lee, man.
All right, funny that we went to Rock Lee next. For Rock Lee, I got Boston Celtics Isaiah Thomas, or current day Isaiah Thomas, whatever you want to say. But I would say specifically Boston Celtics. Because then, here go the whole analysis. Setback by lack of height / lack of ninjutsu and genjutsu. So you already had the setback. Work to still become great. As we know, Isaiah Thomas was great in his time and, in Boston. Rock Lee had, was great in his time when he had opportunity to show it. Respected and appreciated, even if not always around. Because as we know, Isaiah was in Sacramento first, and then what was he after Sacramento, if I can remember? Washington, he was with the Wizards before he finally found a home in Boston. But he was always respected and appreciated for because he was always good, but he wasn't MVP caliber year until Boston. And then, ever since then, he's just always respected. And now he can't really find a good home in the league, but I feel like players still respect him and appreciate him for what he can do. And Rock Lee doesn't have a lot of screen time, don't have a lot of good fights that he can call his own, but always respected and appreciated. Last but not least, big side character moments. What I like to call side character moments. Obviously, the show ain't called Rock Lee. He's a big side character, but he has big moments. We talked about the weight drop. That's everybody's favorite thing. Everybody love the weight drop.
Yeah.
It's hard though. For sure, it's hard. Everybody love the weight drop. Everybody love that fight with Gara. Everybody liked the fight he had with Kimimaro before Gara showed up. And then Rock Lee, everybody liked when him and Sasuke squared off. Everybody wanted him and Neji to fight. You know what I mean? So he had big side character moments to where he's not the main character, but people wanted to see more of Rock Lee. Isaiah Thomas was never the main character of the NBA. But when that playoff run, that Isaiah Thomas Celtics team, where he was leading the league in fourth quarter points and all that stuff, and the clutch baskets he was hitting, and then they went to the playoffs and his sister passed away, and then he hooped the day that he had, after he found out that she had passed or whatever. Big side character moments. We connected with Isaiah Thomas. He the side character now, but we connected with IT in those moments. We connected with Rock Lee when he dropped them weights. We was like, yeah, we would rock. You know what I mean? We would leave. We connected with them in those big moments. And then they don't have a lot of them anymore. They don't have a lot of Rock Lee moments in Shippuden. There's some, filler episodes that you can go back and watch, and Rock Lee did some things. But do we care about them? Not so much. So, Isaiah Thomas, we seen him in Phoenix, we seen him in Washington, we seen him in Sacramento. Do we care so much? Not really. But those moments he had in Boston, big. And we remember. People going to YouTube looking up that Rock Lee Gara fight consistently. So, yeah, bro. A lot of love and respect for both of them. And I just think they fit together so well with the lack of height and the lack of jutsu.
Progress is not about perfection and being perfect. It's about making growth no matter what. It's about pushing yourself to the limit and beyond those limits. Every challenge that comes your way, you're overcoming them. And it's about striving to become more and doing more. Every single step, every single day, every single dribble is a victory. You've won as long as you're making progress. Because progress is the only goal. So invest into that progress, invest into that dream. Get yourself a reminder that progress is the only goal. Okay. I see where you're going there. All right, for me, Rock Lee, he was a hard worker, man. Like that's the most obvious thing about him, man. He was a shovel and pail guy. hard hat, blue collar worker. That boy's gonna put it in. He's gonna put the work in. But he was kind of like an outlier. He wasn't exactly like the other because you said he only had taijutsu. He didn't have the other jutsus to fit in with everybody else. So he was automatically handicapped and held back because of all these other things. And he got overshadowed, like you said. He had moments, but he was always number two. He never had a moment where he could be number one. Even in his fight with Gara, he didn't win. Like, yeah, you looked amazing, but he still lost the fight. So he never had those moments where he was like number one. Even in, like you said, as much as people love him and cheer on Rock Lee, the name of the show is not Rock Lee, it's Naruto. So he never could get the moments where he could shine like he wanted to. And like I said, he was always kind of held back a little bit because he didn't have the same powers as everybody else. I struggled with Rock Lee for a minute, man. I think this isn't a sexy fit. I don't love it. But for Rock Lee, I got KD. Hard worker, puts in work. But once again, he don't quite have the accolades of people we look at as being the guy. We look at him and it's like you still kind of missing certain things, and you kind of got overshadowed between LeBron, got overshadowed in Golden State with Steph. You never were quite the guy to kind of take us over the hump of being looking at you as like we would never look at Rock Lee as being like better or even equal to Naruto. Look at KD at best. At best, we can say you're equal to a lot of these other guys. We can't say you're better than Steph. We can't say you're better than Bron. We can't put you over these names and titles and stuff. So that's why I put on him. And he's respected and he's regarded very highly. But we don't put him in the same category because he never had that dominance that we talked about with everybody else. And he don't have the same level of success. Yes, he has the MVP, and yes, he has rings, even the Finals MVP. People still put a tarnish on that because you had to join the 73-9 Warriors. You had to go join Steph Curry team. Whether that's your point or not, whatever. But people still don't hold him to the same regard as everybody else. So I put KD here. It's tough. I double dip. I thought about using James Harden here. He's a hard worker, but he kind of gets overshadowed a little bit too. But he's held back by the fact that he, for better or worse, he shoots himself in the foot basically in the postseason. Like name me a time where James Harden, the James Harden we saw in regular season, name a time where we saw any of that in the postseason.
Nope.
Like he might have had one game, maybe. I can think about the Nets series where he kind of did his thing a little bit, but he was so held back because he was hurt. But we don't quite put him in like we talk about all-time scorers. Yes, all-time players.
Not so
Nah,
much.
bro. Ain't look at you. Not so much. We don't look at you the same way. So he always getting overshadowed. And people try to say he's better than D Wade. I'm not even debating that. It's D Wade number 3 all day. James Harden could be number 4. But remember we talked about all-time shooting guards where it's Jordan, it's Kobe, Wade, drop. James Harden is that next player right there as a drop. Because you can't give me somebody who has, I'm not love the ring talks, but no rings. Yes, he has an MVP that D Wade doesn't have, but Wade has a finals MVP. He ain't even touched the finals. So we can't sit here and talk about James Harden being that much better than this guy. And that's what we're working with as a resume. Yes, you got the scoring. That's lovely. It's amazing. But I actually have a ring and I have postseason success that you have yet to even come close to doing. So that's where James Harden kind of fits in there for me. And I will put him here just for the sake of not using KD twice. I feel like KD fits a little bit better for me for Rock Lee.
I see what you were saying, but I feel like KD a little too naturally gifted to be Rod Lee. Because that was his whole thing, that he's not naturally gifted. That was his whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I went Isaiah Thomas, because it's like, if it don't get more not naturally gifted than being short in basketball, it don't get more like set back, like being 5'8", 5'9", whatever you was. Like, it ain't too many things you could give a person and say you got to take this and be an NBA player. Then that'll make it harder than being short. I mean, obviously you could be short and develop like the greatest jump shot or whatever. But like, think about short NBA players. What do they have? Nate Robinson was one of the short NBA players. He dunk contest champion. He super athletic. Same thing with Spud Webb. Muggsy Bogues is in there. Like, he a great defender, I guess, to be small.
Mm-hmm.
IT don't got that. IT was not super athletic. He could shoot, obviously, but he ain't no Steph Curry. And then he not no excellent defender. But
Yeah.
somehow, this man still getting 26, 28 a night in the playoffs. And he going crazy in the fourth quarter every time. Like, I just remember that time. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. What a time to be alive. Then they traded my boy for Kyrie, and we never seen it again. We never seen it again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's fine now. The Boston Celtics done won the championship, but that's been like 5-6 years ago now when he was doing that. Because Kyrie got traded to Boston like 2018. Because that was the first year
Yeah.
without him.
He,
Yeah.
like 16, 17 when he had that run.
Yeah, because Kyrie and Bron
I'm,
was in the finals in 16 and 17. And then 2018, they didn't have Kyrie because Bron was by himself. And then K-Love. And then Bron still took it to the finals. And they got swept. And then 2019, he was in LA. So IT was traded from Boston to Cleveland in 2018. And it all went away, dog. Just like in Shippuden. Like, we got the Shippuden, we felt like we never saw Rock Lee do nothing cool again. It was just like, dang.
yeah.
He had some fights and stuff, like I said, but there was never another moment like when he dropped them weights. And it ain't never been another time like when he was in Boston. That's why I said specifically Boston Celtics IT. So, yeah, man. I love IT. Man.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Yeah.
You got me on that one, man. Rock Lee was my weakest one. Like, that's the one I struggled the most with because it was difficult, like you said, like because IT has that handicap, like you said, of being short, and Rock Lee has the handicap of like everybody else we mentioned. They have all these other abilities and stuff that he just can't do. Like, he literally cannot possess. He don't have all the jutsu that everybody else has.
Right.
It's like you can't pull too many people out of this bag of just saying that. Like, you could throw AI here, but AI was so athletic that it was just ridiculous. Like, for him to do what he did, being like they're about the same height, but AI was more athletic. So
That too. I should have
it's
threw
tough to
AI in
pull
there
too
too.
many people. Yeah, AI is in the conversation, but it's just so many people that you have to count out because of the height and disadvantage. That how many people can you actually throw in this conversation? Like, IT is a great fit. That's why I think you got me on that one. AI, it's probably really the only two that you can really have in
I
that
like
conversation.
AI for that too. Yeah. It doesn't get more, like I said, it doesn't get more of a hindrance that you could give someone than lack of height when it comes to basketball. Like, if you was born 5'9", or like let's say you was 5'9" in like middle school, and somebody walked up to you and said, "You will never be taller than this, but you're gonna still make it to the NBA." You would be like, "I'm 5'9". Like, you would have a hard time believing that. And like, at the shortest, you would think somebody had to be 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
And even then, you gotta either have wilts like AI, or you gotta be lock up deep, or Steph Curry from the three. Something. You can't just be out here like you can't just be out here 5'9" and a regular player. You gotta have some form of specialty. This man, God knows what his specialty was. Getting buckets. That was his specialty. He just had it, bro. He just had it. I just remember watching, like, yo, he getting off, bro. It was amazing, bro. You had to be there. If you never seen it, dog, you just had to be there. It's one of them things. Almost like Lynn Sanity and Jeremy Lin. You just had to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Just had to be there. Because there's no way to describe how crazy it was that he was doing that. You just had to be there. So, yeah, bro.
Yeah, I thought about throwing Trae Young in here. I think Trae Young was a really good one. I should have went with him.
I can see that.
Trae Young, because you remember when he had that it's Trae Young versus Knicks rivalry.
Yeah.
They weren't even the Hawks. It's Trae Young
Trae
versus
Young.
Knicks.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that too.
Like, ever since it's either that year or the year after that. Like, Trae Young was still up there. It's like notable in name.
Yeah.
But after that, it was downhill. We don't hear Trae Young as much. Like, he's still putting up numbers, which is the crazy part. But we don't get the same shine and love. He don't get talked about as much. We don't talk about him as one of the young players coming up in the league. Like, Ja Morant is Zion, is Tatum, is Giannis, is Luka. Trae Young is swept on the rug now. So, I should have said Trae Young. Like, that was my other thought for him too. I take it back, man. Trae Young's my pick for Rock Lee,
It's
man.
too late.
Trae Young's my pick for Rock Lee.
But no, it's funny, bro. That's something that's funny about the NBA, just like it's a TV show. Sometimes the side characters have the best moments, the best stories. The main characters, the Brons, the KDs, the Steph Currys, they have the most moments. But it's a lot of people. Go on YouTube and search up Rock Lee versus Gar. See how many views they got. That's a side character
Yeah.
fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That it just got big moments. Side characters have some of the bigger moments, and the same things happen in the NBA like it's a TV show. That's what makes it so crazy. It's so fun because like Jeremy Lin, Isaiah Thomas, Trae Young versus the Knicks. Like sometimes side characters just have moments to where it's like this is more fun than watching LeBron in them. I gotta watch Trae Young play the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of them things, man. It's so funny how the NBA could really be a TV show in its own way. It could be an anime.
Yeah. I guarantee somebody gonna do that. Like you remember the little never mind, we getting sidetracked. We ain't gonna do that. All right.
Last one.
All right, last one is gonna be Neji Hugo, man. Who you got for Neji?
This one's kind of funny. I mean, I'm gonna do your formula of explaining first, and then we'll give you the name.